Good morning. We want to welcome everybody today to our E3 Live Market Report. We cover the exports that are about to come out. We'll cover the market outlook. We just want to say first off what the market's done overnight, where we are, and then we'll have the exports coming out in just a minute. Looking at overnight, cotton market's down about 5 points right now. Soybeans are up 7.5, corn's up 3.25, and wheat's down about a penny. Also, let you know, because this is important to the market, where the dollar is. The dollar's up about 30 points. Not a huge move, but that is a little bit of a negative for commodities. Crude oil is down about 36 cents a barrel. We're seeing gold up about $16 an ounce, silver up 32 cents an ounce, and the stock market overnight looks like it's trading up. So we're looking at the export report that's about to come out. We have been in the midst of a Chinese holiday, so that could have influenced some of the exports that we're about to see. It could provide for a little bit of a lighter number there, but we'll have this number coming out any second, and we'll also look first at the cotton number from last week. It was actually a negative number. We had a large cancellation from Turkey. We're hoping not to see any more cancellations there. The market actually has held up very well in cotton, and we'll be going over the reasons for that in just a moment. As we get close to the report, cotton market's starting to firm up just a small amount. All right. The numbers are about to come out here, and we've got the markets are starting to rally just a little bit. Still waiting for the report to come out. Cotton number was a number of 71,400 bales, and so far the market is remaining about unchanged on the day. Let's look at the wheat number, 328,300. That's an improvement over last week, and the wheat market appears to be firming up a small amount. We're up a half cent on the day right now. Let's go to corn, 715,000 metric tons. A little smaller than last week, but still a respectable number. And the soybean number at 459,200 is come out also. And looking at that, the soybean market right now, just before the report came up, we were up 8. Now the soybeans are up 4. So we're backing off a small amount from that. Let's break this down. The cotton number, looking at this 71,400, the breakdown shows China took 17,300, Vietnam took 12,100. We're looking for cancellations, very small cancellations, not even 500 bales. So that is the cotton number. Cotton's remaining, is holding around unchanged to just a little bit higher on the day. Let's go to wheat. The wheat sales of 328,300, and the breakdown shows that's up 23% from the previous week, but down 19% from the 4-week average. Japan took 68,000 metric tons, Indonesia took 55,000 metric tons, and Canada took 49,300 metric tons. As I'd mentioned to you, wheat was down a half cent before the report. Right now, the wheat market's in that same area. Looking at corn, 715,800 metric tons. That's down 23% from the previous week, and also about 23% lower from the 4-week average. Japan took 287,800. Colombia took 182,700. Mexico took 172,200. The corn number, before the report, we were up 4, and right now the corn market's up 3. Going lastly to the soybeans, net sales of 459,200. It's down 9% from the previous week and down 26% from the 4-week average. China took 292,900. Netherlands took 156,800. Japan took 40,100. Looking for cancellations. Cancellations of 146,800 for unknown destinations. No real surprises here. Some of these numbers were thought to have been a little bit light because of the holiday, and the market's not really reacting too much to this report. If we talk about what's happened over the past week, we'll look first at soybeans. Over the last week, soybean markets actually been up about 36 cents from a week ago. Compared that to corn and to wheat, those markets actually have been down. What are the positives for the soybean market? Good demand has certainly been a positive. We've seen good price action in soybean meal, which was very encouraging 2 days ago. I think in the beans we had a very large movement in soybean meal that was encouraging to beans. Outside markets have been somewhat stable. Right now the dollar is up 35, but if you look over the past week, the market has been trading up and down, so some stability there. Some of the negatives for the market, the South American harvest, we're in the midst of that. That typically is a negative, and we know there are going to be large plantings in the spring for soybeans, and that's been considered a negative. We've talked in the past about seasonals. That's the tendency of a market to move in a certain direction through a certain time of the year, and the seasonal for soybeans is to move up into mid-April to the first part of May. And I think that seasonal is on target. We expect to see the markets holding and moving higher into those time periods. I will mention this to you back. We were talking about seasonals back a few months ago, and did mention the upcoming seasonal, and this was back in September. There was a seasonal that took place around the 1st of October that was typically when the low is made for the year for soybeans. And it doesn't often do this, but it hit it right on that day. That was the low that was made. And so the seasonals can give you an indicator as to when we can typically see lows and highs and which way the market normally is trending. It's no guarantee that will continue. Things change, but it's something to be aware of, and farmers should certainly be using that as part of their marketing strategy on their crop. Targets. These are some of the targets people have talked about in soybeans. Old crop soybeans, a target of getting as high as 1050 to 1070. Right now, old crop soybeans are at 1014.5. Target for new crop soybeans. The new crop target, some analysts have talked about 1020 to 1030. Right now, November soybeans are at 987. We got actually to 994 overnight. And so looking for the possibility of the market getting up toward 1020 to 1030, and that would certainly be something that farmers would want to look at for marketing. Moving over to the wheat market, the news has been somewhat mixed in wheat. The weather, we have another Arctic blast that's coming through the Midwest, and that's considered actually possibly harmful for the wheat market, and that could be a positive, or it's been viewed that way. I think another positive has been a somewhat positive performance in the bean market, and that seems to pull wheat somewhat with it. The negative piece of news for the wheat has been the big world supplies that we're facing. So it's really been more of a mixed picture for wheat. The seasonals point up. Normally, wheat will make its high in the spring. We typically see it in the first part of May. and then it will trend down into harvest time. What are the targets? May wheat right now is at $4.95. Old crop target is $5.50. July wheat is trading right now at $5, and the target there for July wheat would be $5.50 to $5.60, and those would be good prices to be looking at some possible marketing if we can see that in the coming months. Now, corn. Last week we saw corn trade off about 18 to 19 cents. What's been the news? The good news has been good ethanol demand. Also, another piece of good news in the market has been the anticipation of lower acres being planted this spring, as we're seeing more acres being switched over to soybeans. Negatives. The negatives have been the technicals. Corn has had a really hard time getting above some technical points, some moving averages that the technicians and some of the funds watch. Whenever we've moved up into this area, the market has been met with selling and drifts back lower. Looking at the corn, seasonals also point up into spring. The targets there, looking at old crop corn right now trading at $3.8625. The old crop target, analysts have been talking about $4.10 to $4.20, and the new crop right now, December corn, is trading at $4.1125, and there's a new crop target of $4.40. Now we'll go to cotton. The cotton market has actually been rallying some since this report. Right now we're up about 15 on the day at 65.68, but the December cotton is down around 22 at 66.08. Over the last week, we're pretty much where we started a week ago. We've had two-sided price trading. It just so happens we haven't really moved that much from where we were a week ago. What's the good news? Well, we've seen good commodity fund buying recently. We think that a few weeks ago the support started from good meal buying down in the area of 60 and lower, and as it moved higher we started to see commodity funds covering shorts and actually starting to build a long position in the market. Another positive have been very good technicals. We've seen the market move through moving averages and trend lines that are encouraging for speculators in the market. Another positive has been the outside financial markets seem to, in the last week, been stabilizing or holding steady. What are the negatives? Well, the negatives are that the market seems to be overbought. We're right now looking, based on commitment of traders, at some of the large commodity funds have built a very large long position. And based on the past, when we get into this level of a long position, the market has a tendency to stall out. And so that's a negative. And we're seeing exports where we had seen them have started to slow up. But on balance, the key market drivers right now are what the funds are doing in the market. And so far, they seem to have been willing to buy any dips in the market. Seasonals point up into mid-April. That's the seasonal tendency in cotton. Targets. What are these targets in cotton? May cotton right now is at 65.70. And the old crop target is a range of 67 to 70 is possible there. New crop right now, December cotton is trading at 66.07. The target there is a range of 70 cents to 74 cents looking forward into the spring. And in summary, looking at the cotton, strong demand for high quality machine picked cotton is definitely a positive, plus very good speculative buying from commodity funds are the reason we've seen the strong performance in the old crop. As far as new crop goes, I think the market's talked about this a lot. We've talked about it. It's going to take higher prices to be able to attract enough acres, or there's another way to look at it. It's going to take higher prices to prevent a sizable cutback in certain parts of the world that typically grow cotton. So that's the reason we're looking for the market to move up. That's really it on the day. So far, not a lot of reaction to these reports. We appreciate you joining us here at the E3 Live Market Report. We hope you'll join us again next Thursday for the report. And also, let me let you know, if you don't know about it already, each Monday morning at 10 o'clock, we post the Cotton Incorporated cotton market review, their outlook for the week. Dr. O.A. Cleveland does that report for us. It's excellent. We hope you'll tune in and be able to listen to that. That's it for the day. Thanks for joining us and being part of the E3 Live Report.